So, welcome back to Pabbly everyone. And today's automation is all about creating a notification system. But before we start building this workflow, let me firstly show you how this works in real time. So, for that, let's move on towards my Google Forms. So here's the Google form and I will quickly fill the test entry here. So now I am going to fill this form providing first name, last name, email, phone number and the message or the query. So here I have filled this form providing first name demo, last name user, email as demo@pabblytunes.com, phone number and the message or the query. Now let's click over the submit button and here you can see my user's form has been successfully submitted. Now let's move on towards my WhatsApp to check whether I am receiving a message on my WhatsApp or not. So here you can see in my WhatsApp I am successfully receiving this message which says, "Hi demo, we have received your form submission successfully. Here are your details," and here I am getting the full name, that is demo user, email demo@pabblytunes.com, phone number and the message or the query which I have recently entered over my form. So now this message shows that I have successfully created an automation where I can send a WhatsApp message to my leads received from the Google form. Now let's move on towards the Gmail to check whether my lead is receiving an email or not. So in my Gmail account, you can see I'm successfully receiving this email having the subject, "Thank you for connecting with us." And here I'm getting the same first name which I have recently entered over my form. And here I'm getting all the details, that is name, email, phone number and the message or the query. So this shows that the automation which I have built in is successfully working with all its action step. And this automation is even sending the WhatsApp message and email to your Google form leads. So if you also want to create this amazing automation for scale up your business, then watch this video till the end. So now let's start building this automation by using Pabbly Connect. And for accessing the Pabbly Connect, you just have to type its URL over the new tab. That is pabbly.com/connect, and once you will enter the URL, you will be getting the landing page of Pabbly. And here you can see we are getting two options, that is sign in and sign up free. So if you are a new user, you can simply click over this sign up free, but if you are an existing user, you can simply click over this sign in. And if you sign up your account for free over the Pabbly Connect, you get 100 free tasks every month for practicing Pabbly Connect. But before moving on forward towards creating our automation, I am going to tell you about Pabbly Community. So here you can see this is the page of Pabbly Community where automation users, marketers and business owners gather to share their ideas, ask questions and get relevant update regarding using the Pabbly applications. So you can also join Pabbly Community now and grow your business with us. And if you wish to join the Pabbly Community, you can find link in the description given below. Now let's move on to my Pabbly Connect again. And here I am going to simply click over this sign in as I already have an account. And once you finish your sign up, you will be getting this all Pabbly apps page where you can see these are the products provided by Pabbly. And as we are going to integrate some applications, we will be using this Pabbly Connect app which can integrate different applications and start automating your work. So for automating at this task, we have to click over this Access Now button and we will be landed to the dashboard page of Pabbly Connect which can be seen here. And on this dashboard page, you can observe these folders. And inside these folders, I have created many workflows by integrating different applications. So if you also want to create your own folder, you simply have to click over this create a new folder button. And here you have to provide the folder name. And at the next point, if you want, you can even select your parent folder as well. And at last, you just have to click over this create button and your folder will be created. But now, I am going to create a workflow. So for that, you simply have to click over this create workflow button and you will be getting this option for selecting the workflow builder. So here we are getting two workflow builder, that is beta, which is modern, faster and more flexible, and another workflow builder we are getting is classic, which will provide you stable and familiar approach. So here I am going to use this newly launched workflow builder beta. So for that, you simply have to click over this select button and you will be getting this dialog box where you have to provide the workflow name. So now I am going to provide a name to my workflow here. So here I have provided it the name automate WhatsApp message and email to Google form leads. And now I am going to select my folder as automation. Now let's simply click over this create button, and here you can see we are receiving this pop-up that is workflow created successfully, and we are landed to a workflow page where you can observe this option that is for adding the trigger. Now you might be thinking, what is this trigger? So trigger is our first application or the application which is going to initiate our workflow. So in this case, I want to initiate my workflow as soon as I receive a new lead over my Google Forms. So here I am going to select my trigger app as Google Forms. So now let's click over this add trigger button, and here we are landed to this trigger setup page where I am going to search for the Google Form as I am going to add it as my trigger app. So here I have searched for it, and now I am getting this application, so I am going to select it, and afterwards I am going to select my app event as new response received. Now let's simply click over this connect button, and here we are getting this webhook URL with the steps for pasting this webhook URL. So this webhook URL is going to act as a bridge between Google Form and Pabbly Connect for building the connection. So now I am going to show you how you can paste this webhook URL and build the connection. So now let's copy this webhook URL, and now let's move on towards the Google Form which I have created. So here you can see this is the form which I have created, and now you just have to select this responses menu, and you will be getting this option for view in sheets or link to sheets. So now I am going to select it, and you will be getting the Google Sheet, which is the native integration of your Google Forms, and we have to paste our webhook URL here. And now we just have to go to extensions, and here you have to select this add-ons, and now you just have to select this get add-ons, and afterwards you will be landed to the Google Workspace Marketplace where you have to search for the app that is Pabbly Connect Webhook. So now let's type its name, and here I am getting this Pabbly Connect Webhooks applications which is already installed. So you have to firstly install this application, and afterwards again you have to go to extensions, and here you can see this application or this app that is Pabbly Connect Webhooks. Now you just have to select this initial setup, and you will be getting the initial setup dialog box which can be seen here, and here it is asking me to enter the webhook URL and the trigger column. So this is the place you have to paste the webhook URL which you have recently received from your Pabbly Connect. So now let's move on to our Pabbly Connect and copy the webhook URL and paste over the Google Sheets. So here I have pasted the webhook URL, and now I am going to enter the trigger column. So trigger column is basically the last data column of the Google Sheet. And here in this Google Sheet you can see my last data column is F, and here I am entering this trigger column so that I can receive whole data of this Google Sheet. So now let's enter our trigger column as F here. Now we just have to submit this form by simply selecting this submit button, and here you can see we are receiving this pop-up which says setup configured successfully. Now we just have to send our test data, and for sending the test data we have to fill our Google form. And here on my Pabbly Connect you can see it is waiting for the webhook response, and also for providing the webhook response we have to fill our Google form. So now let's move on to our Google form and fill it. So here I am landed to my Google form, and now I am going to fill this form providing my first name as test, last name as user, email as test@pabblytudes.com, and now I am going to enter my phone number here, and afterwards I am going to enter the message or the query. So here I have filled this form providing all the details. Now let's submit this form, and here you can see my form has been successfully submitted. Now let's move on to my Google Sheet to check whether we are receiving the data over there or not. So here you can see in my Google Sheet I am successfully receiving the data which I have recently filled. Now let's send this test data to the Pabbly Connect by simply selecting this send test button, and here you can see my test data has been sent successfully. Now let's move on towards our Pabbly Connect to check whether we are receiving our test data or not. So here you can see in my Pabbly Connect I am successfully receiving this response, that is response A, with all the fields which I have recently filled over my Google form. So this shows that we have successfully integrated our trigger app, and now I am going to add my action apps. So the first action app we are going to add is WhatsApp Cloud API, as I am going to send WhatsApp messages to my Google Form leads. So now let's click over this add new action step button, and here I am going to search for my action app that is WhatsApp Cloud API. So now let's search for it, and here you can see I'm getting this application, so I'm going to select it. And now I'm going to select my app event as send template message, as I'm going to send template message to my leads. Now let's click over this connect button, and here we are landed to the connection page, where if you want to use your already built-in connection, then you can select your existing connection, and if you want to build a new connection, then follow the steps which I'm going to show you. So now let's click over this add new connection button, and here we are getting a new connection name, and here it is asking me to enter the token, phone number ID and the WhatsApp business account ID. So for getting the token, you can visit this help desk, which is providing you the documentation by using which you can get your token. So now let's click over this hyperlink, and we will be getting the documentation which will show you the steps and the videos for getting your access token. So here you can see this is the documentation which is providing the videos for the necessary steps taken to set up WhatsApp Cloud API inside Pabbly Connect, and here you are getting this video for generating token inside WhatsApp Cloud API. So if you want to do so, then you can either follow these steps or watch these videos. Now as I've already set up my WhatsApp Cloud API inside Pabbly Connect, then let's move on towards my API setup page. And here we are landed to the API setup page, where you can see this option of access token. So now for generating the access token, we simply have to click over this generate access token, and here you have to select your Facebook account connected with your WhatsApp Cloud API account. Now we just have to click over this reconnect, and as I have selected my account, and now I am going to simply copy this token and paste it over the Pabbly Connect. So here I am going to paste my token, and afterwards it is asking me to enter the phone number ID and the WhatsApp business account ID. So for getting all these details, let's move on to our API setup page again, and here you can see we are getting this phone number ID and the WhatsApp business account ID. So now let's copy it and paste it over the Pabbly Connect. So here I'm going to paste it. Now let's get our WhatsApp business account ID. So here I am going to paste this WhatsApp business account ID as well. Now let's click over this save button, and here our connection has been created successfully, and we are getting some of the fields. So the first field we are getting is for entering the receiver's phone number. So now you might be thinking that I am going to enter this phone number manually, but no, I am going to perform mapping. And now you might be thinking that why I am doing so. I am doing mapping to reduce my manual workload so that I don't have to enter my values again and again, as mapping makes the field dynamic, and mapping is basically inserting the data from the previous step. So here I am going to map the receiver's phone number from the response which I am receiving from Google Forms. And the process of mapping is simple. You just have to select the field which you want to map, and from here you have to select the application which contains details. So here I am going to select this Google Forms, and now let's search for the phone number which can be seen here. So here I have mapped the receiver's phone number. And now this field will be dynamic, means this is going to change with every new single response received from your Google form, and you don't have to enter the value or map the value again and again. And now we are getting this option for entering the template ID. So here I am going to select this same template ID, and for getting your own template ID, you just have to go to the API setup page again, and here you can see we are getting this hyperlink for create your own template. So now let's select it, and we will be landed to the WhatsApp manager. And here we are getting this page where you can see these are the message templates inside my WhatsApp manager. And if you want to create your own message template, you can simply click over this create template button and create it. And now I'm going to use this template ID, that is confirmation. So here you can see this is the template which I'm going to select. So now let's select it over the Pabbly Connect. So here the template ID is already selected, and now I'm going to enter the language code as EN, as I have created my template in English language, and this is the code for the English language. And now afterwards we are getting this option for selecting the template name, which is already selected as confirmation. So by refreshing this, you will be getting the same template name according to the template ID. And now it is asking me whether the template has header or not. So as you can see in my template, I don't have any header, so I will be selecting no over the Pabbly Connect, which is already selected. And now we are getting this field that is for the header type, and this field says enable the map button and leave this field blank. So now let's enable this map button and leave this field blank for the header type. And now we are getting some of the fields which are not necessary, and this field which says template has body, and as you know that my template has body, so I will be selecting yes from this drop down. And now we are getting some of the fields for entering the variables. So here I have created these variables inside my message template so that I can send personalized messages to my leads. So now let's map all these details. So here on this first variable, I am going to map the name or only the first name. So now let's map it. So here I have mapped the first name of my user, and now it is asking me to map the email. So now let's map the email over here, which can be seen here. And now I am going to map the phone number. So here you can see this phone number, and now I am going to map the message or the query of my user. So here I have mapped it, and now I am going to map the full name. So here I am going to map the first name and provide the space and map the last name. And now with this we have successfully mapped all our details. And now this field says template has button, and as you know my template doesn't have any buttons, so I will keep it as same, that is no. And now for this field that is for the receiver's phone number, I have mapped the data, but I am going to replace this phone number with my phone number so that I can show you the response which I am receiving. So now I am going to enter my phone number here. So here I have entered my phone number. Now I am going to select the save and send test request button for sending the test data. So now let's select this button, and here you can see as I have selected this button, I am getting a positive response, which means we might have received the message. So for testing this, let's move on towards my WhatsApp with me. So here you can see in my WhatsApp, I am successfully receiving this message which says, "Hi test, we have received your form submission successfully. Here are your details," and here I am getting the same full name, email, phone number and the message or the query which I have recently entered over my Google form. So this shows that the first step of our automation is working properly. Now let's move on towards our Pabbly Connect and add one more action app. And now I am going to add one more action app that is for sending emails to my leads. So for that you simply have to click over this add new action step button again, and here I am going to select my action app as Gmail. Now I am going to select my app event as send email. Now let's click over this connect button. So if you want to build a new connection, then you can select add new connection, and here you have to sign up with your Google account. But for using your existing connection, you can select it. Now let's simply click over this save button, and here you can see our connection has been saved successfully, and we are getting this first field for entering the sender name. So here I am going to enter my sender's name, that is Pabbly, and this field will be static, means this is not going to change with every new responses. And now we are getting this field for sender's email address, where it is already entered as my email address. And now we are getting this field for entering the recipient's email address, so I am going to map it from the response of the Google form. So here I have mapped it. Now we are getting this field that is CC and BCC. So if you want to send this email to multiple recipients, then you can enter the CC and BCC as well. And now we are getting this field for the email subject. So now I am going to enter my email subject over here. So here I have entered my email subject. Now I am going to enter my email content in this next field. So here you can see I have entered this email content, and after this word hi, I am going to map the first name of my lead from the response. So here I am going to map the first name, and here for providing the submission details, I am going to map the full name of my lead. So here I have mapped the first name, provided the space and mapped the last name. And now I am going to map the email which can be seen here, and now I am going to map the phone number and the message or the query. So here I have mapped all these details. Now we are getting this field for selecting the email content type, which is already selected as plain, but you can select it according to you. Now we are getting some of the fields which are not necessary. So now let's simply select the save and send test request, and here you can see we are receiving a positive response which demonstrates that we might have built in the connection and our email might be sent. So now let's move on to my Gmail account to check it. So here you can see I'm getting this email having the same subject, that is thank you for connecting with us, and here I'm getting the same first name, that is test, and here I'm getting the same details, that is name as test user, email test@pabblytudes.com, phone number, and the message or the query. So now we have successfully created our automation, which is going to automate whether sending the WhatsApp message or sending email. So what are you waiting for? Start using Pabbly Connect now and stay tuned to our YouTube channel for learning more about Pabbly and creating many more amazing automations and integrations like this. And if this video is really helpful, then hit the like and subscribe button. And if you want to practice this workflow, I have provided the link in the description given below. And if you have any doubt, don't forget to mention it in the comment section. So thank you for watching this video. Not only this automation, you can build many more integrations like this by just using Pabbly Connect. So if you have any doubt, you can mail us at support@pabbly.com, and if you have any queries, you can post it over the forums.pabbly.com. And if you have any pricing related issue, then you can visit the URL given over here. So start using Pabbly Connect for free now.